I'm Samantha Valasek, and I am a mental health occupational therapist who specializes in working with neurodivergent individuals, adults, and teens. And you might be wondering, what is mental health occupational therapy? Can that help me? So let's start with what is occupational therapy. As an occupational therapist, I look at how people occupy their time. So, how do we spend our time from day to day? Occupations, back in the day when the profession was named, they meant like all of the activities of daily living and the ways in which we spent our time meaningfully, not just the ones we get paid for. So the definitions changed over time, but we're still going with the spirit of the definition, which is the mix and flow of all of your daily activities. And I really look at how those things impact your health and your well-being and your life satisfaction. So on the other hand, I also look at how things like your development, as well as your physical, emotional, and cognitive health can impact your ability to spend time the way that you want to or need to. As a mental health occupational therapist who works primarily with neurodivergent individuals, that means I really have an eye for the patterns and symptoms that impact neurodivergent people. So there's a lot of emphasis on how things like intense emotions or emotional dysregulation, things like intrusive thoughts, maybe persistent anxiety and depression, apathy, procrastination, executive function challenges, and sensory sensitivities can all impact our ability to get through the day and pursue our goals. And it's my belief as an occupational therapist, and honestly for occupational therapists in general, that engaging in meaningful activities is healing in and of itself, particularly when those activities are in alignment with our identity, our values, and also when they promote a sense of connection, mastery, and autonomy. So what would it look like if we had a first session together? Well, we'd take a look at the big picture as well as trying to collect as many details as possible. What that means is we're taking a holistic perspective on your current situation. So we're going to look at you as a person, your strengths and skills and abilities, your challenges, symptoms, things that are just feeling kind of hard right now, as well as what are you interested in? What are your beliefs? What are your values? What are your goals? And we're going to really hone in on you and center your experience and your expertise on yourself in this. I really care about what motivates you, why this. And if you're not sure right now, that's okay. We can kind of figure that out together and maybe touch back into something that you've lost. So, talking about you, we're also talking about the activities that you'd like to be able to do. And we're going to look at the features of those activities. So all activities have different demands. So there are physical demands, cognitive demands, emotional demands, and we're going to look at how those demands are interacting with your skills and your strengths and your challenges to figure out how we can create a good fit for you. And then finally, the often overlooked part of a person and their experience is their environment. And so we're going to help you look at your environment or find environments that are a good fit, but look at the environments that you have to do things in and look at the features of those environments. So it could be, again, physical, sensory, social, and we're going to figure out, is this creating barriers that we need to overcome or work around, or is it creating supports that we could be taking advantage of? Honestly, that's just using resources wisely and gives you a chance to enhance your connection to the people around you. As for what a typical session looks like, it has a few components. Usually starts with, a check-in. How did it go since last time? Anything new or surprising? Did you get to try the tool or strategy or practice the skill? And what worked, what didn't work, what got in the way? Oh, you didn't get to try it at all? That's okay. We can learn something from that too. It's really a no judgment space. We're working with life as it comes. And so that might naturally lead into problem solving or maybe some education about a topic that is relevant to the things that are going on for you. And then usually maybe some training where we practice something together, or like I said, doing the activity together. Whatever it is and wherever we need to be to make that happen, we're going to do it in a way that's really individualized and, take life as it is, manage that. Ultimately, the long-term goal is that you're able to do the things that you want to do in a way that feels effective, sustainable, and satisfying, which means coming up with realistic ways for you to engage in work, play, rest in the context of your real life. And I know it's time for us to say goodbye when, well, not when you've had a really good week and you're like, that was so great, I did all of the things and it felt amazing. But actually, when life has thrown you some curveballs or some tough situations, and you say, Sam, that wasn't easy. This week kind of sucked. But at the same time, I handled it. I used the toolkit that I've been building, and I think I know how to manage my own life. Yeah, that moment. That is when you basically become your own OT, and it's the best. So if you would like to learn a little bit more about how mental health occupational therapy could work for you, please reach out to Spectrum Psych LA. We have an email at, the email is info@spectrumpsychla.com, and our phone number is 310-861-4041. Thank you so much for taking the time.